been the last 3 days for minicamp?
It's been good. From growing, learning, especially being with the vets, getting our timing down, so I'm excited for the summer.
What's your plan for the next 5 to 6 weeks before you report to camp, and will you gather with your receivers and some of the other quarterbacks and go over things just to kind of refresh everybody?
Just work out, stay in the playbook, and throw the out the ball. So
we saw a pretty good back and forth with you and Jeffrey, I guess, on his first day back. What's that been like, and what's it been like kind of exchanging trash talk with the defense?
It's been good. I need somebody like that, especially somebody like Jeff who's going to let you know he's there every time. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, if not the best. I'm glad he's on my team. I'm glad he's not one of the ones who gets a chance to get a free shot at me. But, I mean, I'm happy I'm playing with him. I know he's, excited about my future, but, I can't wait to get on the field with him on Sundays.
Offenses look really good a lot
Brian
of that
said
time.
yesterday that he had to ask you if it was okay to put in a play call when you were still talking with Jeff. How are you able to focus, kind of do it like that, and how much does the trash talk kind of fire you up or lock you in?
I'm always locked in. The trash talk, it'll never mean nothing to me. It won't get to me in some type of way. I'm just somebody who likes doing it. And so what's the point of playing something that you love you can't have fun with? And so, that's where it comes from. But, I mean, I love the game. And so any chance I get, to let somebody know that they can't with me, it really doesn't matter.
The offense has seemed at times really comfortable in the middle of the field. I mean, you're really comfortable in the middle of the field. We know you had a lot there in college. How do you feel this group is done there and is expanding to the outside something that needs to happen or will come?
The receiver group?
Sorry?
You talking about how the receiver group
well, the offense in general, it seems like a lot of throws have been inside the numbers.
Yeah, I think that's just what Coach Callahan is just doing to just comfort, myself and the whole offense. I'm real comfortable throwing over the middle, even on the outside. I just think, my receivers, they're willing to take hits if they need to. But we got a good young core. We got a good veteran core, and Van, Calvin, and then guys like Chim, Alec, Restrepo, Gunnahem. He's a real savvy tight end. He's going to be able to help me out a lot in the scramble game for sure. But I just think they built us the right way from the perimeter standpoint. And so, I'm excited that I get to throw the wide open people every day. They're going to make my life easier, and I hope I do it to theirs.
We're still a couple months away from the season. How do you like where you are now? Where have you got to get better?
I just think the biggest thing just being just comfortable with the protections. It's not even the base stuff. It's the checks I can make, the checks I have to get out of. But that's gonna come over time. I'm excited for it. Coach Bo, Coach Callahan, they've been getting me right, and so I'm ready to get back to working next month with the team.
Where would you say you've improved the most since this camp?
Say that again.
So we hadn't seen many picks from you in the off season. Today there are a couple. What do you learn maybe from a day and from maybe a couple of picks like that?
The first one, 7-on-7. I don't count that. It's not real football. I'm glad I threw it to Cody. That was 6 points for my team. So, the second one, I should have sidearmed it. I don't know why I did some generic stuff. And really just getting better off the film. Got to continue to move backwards with my eyes. And then really just, playing clean football, especially in the red zone. I have to take care of the ball. I'm aware of that. But, I'd rather do all the crazy stuff in practice so in the game I know I can get away with.
Where would you say you've improved the most since you got here?
I just think my learning the terminology of the protections, I would say. The route concepts, they were all the same from college. It was different words, but the same concepts. But I think I've improved the most daily over learning the protections from 5-man to 6-man to our max protect. And so, that's the hardest part of the quarterback position is knowing the protections in and out. But, I'm on the right track right now, and I got some good coaches who are going to continue to help me out.
Is it important for you at some point during this time between now and camp to get away from football? Some both talk like there's a plan that includes some of that.
A little bit, but, when you like me, it's hard to get away. It's something that, you never can take your mind off of. I'll be in the house, and I'll just think about a bad play. I'll probably be in the shower thinking about the pick. And so it's just something that will never leave me until I'm probably done playing football. So, I just try to get better every day, not try to repeat the same mistakes.
A lot of guys, when they make a mistake like that, they let it carry over to the next play or two, or it continues to affect them. That hadn't seemed to be the case with you. How do you kind of compartmentalize it and deal with it later?
I really don't care about interceptions, none of that. At the end of the day, it's how you respond to the next play. You're either going to win the game or you're going to lose the game. It's only two outcomes. And so I just think as the quarterback, you have to continue to motivate yourself and the guys around you when things are going bad. When things are going bad. So we all gonna have mistakes. Receivers gonna have a drop. I'm gonna have a pick. I'm gonna have a fumble. O-line's gonna give up a sack. So we just gotta continue to play complementary football like we've been doing during camp. Try to translate into training camp and then towards the season.
Cam, how have you seen kind of your relentlessness and your work ethic galvanize maybe some others?
It's really a choice at the end of the day. We're grown men. If you need somebody to motivate you, you shouldn't be playing football. So that's just the way I was raised. That's the way I train. But I know the work that I put in, whether it pays off this year or in the future, I know it's going to pay off eventually.
When you have a moment like you were talking about where you say, well, I should have sidearmed it or I should have done that, is that coaching or is that something you just know instinctively?
No, it's just instinctively. Coaches can't tell me where to throw the ball. At the end of the day, all I can do is call the play. And so, I got to continue to put the team in the best situation, especially in the red zone. We have 3 points. So it's a learning curve, and, I'm going to be able to get through it.
Where would you say your confidence level is before this break heading into training camp?
10.
What's going to be your measurement for success, do you think, as you get into training camp? Like, how do you value each day for yourself and whether or not it was a good day?
You either throw a lot of touchdowns, you throw a lot of picks. And so you got to weigh your options. But I think the biggest thing is measuring the wins. The quarterback position will always be judged off wins. So, I'm just trying to win a lot of games in the NFL in my career. Try to put my team and help the team in the best case to win a lot of games.
Yeah, where do you think that confidence, you said 10, where did that come from? You weren't really heavily recruited, you kind of had to prove yourself. Where do you think you learned to be so confident?
Just my upbringing, not getting everything I wanted, and also just believing in God. And, He's shined the light on me, and, I'm blessed. Every time I get to step on the field, I'm thankful. And so I know the work I put in. I know the film I watch. I know the things I do with my receiver. So I know every day it ain't going to be perfect, but, it's about just minimizing, the mistakes that you made to try to have a perfect day.
Were you ever at a 4 or a 5 or a 6, and when did you get to 10?
No, I'll probably never get that low, even if I, throw a 4-book game this year. At the end of the day, I'm a gunslinger. I live by that. I always die by it. So Coach Callahan knows what type of guy he has in the quarterback room and me. And so, I'm just thankful that I got guys around me to help me out, along with B.A., Brandon and Will. And Tim in there, they help me out a lot, just getting me right with the protections. Then also the receiving core, they're going to be able to, compliment my game a lot.
Cam, when we talked to you a few weeks ago, you were talking about how the speed of like NFL DBs and whatnot is one of the biggest things you've been adjusting to. What have you had to change maybe in your process or the clock in your head to like maybe counteract the faster players you're going up against at this level?
Just throwing on the perimeter, whether it's a go ball, a post ball, you can't leave as much air as you would in college because these guys do have good makeup speed. Like guys like Mike, guys like Hook, like those guys that get into it. So defensively, I think we have one of the best defenses in the NFL, especially the fronts and Sweat and Jeff. Ali up there making plays, Artie Key up there making plays for us. So, we compete every day. I'm excited to, continue to build my relationship with those guys on the defensive end. I know they're going to have my back and I'm going to have theirs.
Last one.
Mom and Dad were here. You keep talking about your upbringing. How special is that to have a good practice?
It's special. They'll try to be at every practice, but those two, they never miss a game. They always been there for me, and it's just honor because not a lot of kids get to have both of their parents in their life at their age, and so I'm blessed. And so every time I step on the field, I just remember everything, money, financially, time-wise that they spent, to get me to this point.
Watching him ever since he was basically at Washington State. His cousin Quandre Diggs is my best friend, so we always talked about him, and we was on the West Coast a lot, so they always played late in the day, so I always got the chance to watch him and stuff and watch highlights.
Have you seen the growth that he's made because from going to Miami and now here as they wrap up the offseason program now?
I think he was already pro-ready even before he got here. I think everybody was able to see it through his transition from Washington State to Miami. You go from a school that maybe not too many people get to see to a big-time school where everybody gets to see him and it's all eyes on them. And just being able to come here, I think everybody's able to see exactly what they saw on film. Really good at being able to understand defenses, getting the ball out of his hands, and just understanding timing real early.
What's been your take with the off-season teams and the competition that the staff put in this year for everybody? Do you feel like guys bought into that?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is you always want to make sure that you got players that's able to buy in. I think that's what really makes an organization and everything go with what the coaching staff is trying to bring. And, you know, I know we got a lot of young guys, but if you're able to buy in early on, that's when you create that culture that'll like stand forever.
Have you been around anything like that before in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I have. You know, you gotta remember I played with Pete, so everything was like all about competition and fun and stuff like that. And with him bringing a lot of fun and stuff, it was like if you couldn't learn how to have self-motivation and self-work, you off the team, right? So every place is different, but I definitely love everything that Cali's doing here.
I know there's different approaches for everybody, but can it be difficult to get the buy-in in the off season? You know, when you're trying to figure out a way to connect with players and get them motivated like that.
Yeah, it could be difficult, but I mean the biggest thing is being able to bridge the gap, being able to have those conversations with the coaches and the players that's here. And when you're here, I think that builds that relationship and that camaraderie that everybody talks about. And that's definitely what you need, because the chemistry off the field is definitely something that helps build it when you're on the field.
When you're the leader that you are, how eager are you to let it rip in training camp when that comes in a few weeks?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, you know, just sitting back, observing, learning how to be able to bridge the gap and just meet everybody where they're at. Obviously, you know, it was different where else I was at because I was there for so long, so I got to see everybody. Now I'm meeting a lot of new people, and so just being able to take it day by day, build those relationships, and just continue to grow.
It is going back to a new system and having to learn all that.
Yeah.
But at this point, do you feel like all the mental reps you did, like you're where you need to be as you head into training camp?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm exactly where I want to be, if not further along right now. But I think the biggest thing is just being able to continue to stay within the playbook, understanding everything about the offense and what we're trying to do, not focusing more on the outside stuff, but just being able to focus on everything that I can control internally.
As you stand on the side, what is your impression of Cam Wheeler?
Love everything that I'm seeing. You know, I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he's further along than you would think a lot of rookies would be, being able to take a step in the league.
Preseason, you just kind of, you know, wherever the chips fall, that's what they're going to have to lay. So I didn't last year preseason, I did my job, and, you know, end of the day, like, I ended up making the team. So, you know, you just come out here and do your job. It's not really nothing else to it, man. If you make plays, man, you just got to let the coaches make that decision. I try not to get my head into the decision they make.
You feel better, like you're a better player right now than you were? How much better do you feel like you're?
I feel like physically I'm the, you know what I'm saying, I'm good, but I just feel like mentally and the playbook wise, man, I'm on top of it, man. I feel like I know almost every position, and so I just think that was the next step I had to take from last year to this offseason, is getting better mentally, or as a football player, just knowing the ins and outs of the playbooks, knowing in and out of the defenses they're running, you know, just learning coverages and stuff like that. Even on special teams, man, just watching cut-ups from last year, what I could have did better at gunner, or, you know, just rushing punts and stuff like that. So I just try to take everything from last year and try to increase it and increase my level of play.
You were 0 today, weren't you? Weren't you
Yeah,
0?
yeah.
A lot of numbers say. You think you get to keep it?
Oh, nah, that's Calvin's, man. I saw Mason and Tig do it, so I was like, Cal, you want to switch? He was like, yeah. Then he going to talk about my jersey was too big. Well, it's too bad you're 10 pounds, 15 pounds lighter than me, Calvin. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing, though. I felt good because I wore 0 in college, if you guys didn't know, so I felt like I was,
cool.
you know what I'm saying?
Who was in your 80? Who'd you switch with?
Calvin.
How do you think? How did Calvin represent the 80?
I don't know. He kept complaining the whole time, so I don't know, man. Yeah, he said the jersey was too big. Well, give me it back then. How about that? So it's all right. It was all good.
Talk about being more comfortable with the playbook. Just how much faster do you feel like you're able to operate out of here because you don't have to overthink or even think too much about it?
Oh, it's way faster. I'm able to process the defense faster too because I already know what I have, instead of last year having to catch up on everything and learn the playbook where I have to understand what I got, and then, you know what I'm saying, I'm taking time, like more time to read the coverages and stuff. But now that I'm more comfortable, I'm able to process everything that's going on in the field way more precisely and way quicker.
Sorry, we just got in, but how good did it feel to cap off what seemed like a good offseason, but maybe not a high catch off season with the work you did today?
It's always good, man. I mean, I don't take them. The days that you don't really get passes thrown, you can't really, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes they script practices for certain looks, and you're not always not going to get the ball. You know, Calvin doesn't get the ball every practice and stuff like that. So you just can't really get too high, get too low on like catching the ball and stuff like that. You just, when the opportunity comes, you just got to make a play.
And it feels good when it does come. And
yeah,
right?
yeah, dude, yeah, dude, for sure.
Just in terms of you showed what you could do, especially late last season, to come out here and maybe show on days that the ball isn't coming your way the full arsenal of you as a player. How important was that to you?
Very important, man. I just try to show the coaches that I could do anything to contribute, man. Like, it just goes in from like last year, you know, like getting my opportunity on special teams, and you got to make the opportunity count with those reps first. And then when they see that you can, when they see that you can make plays at special teams, then those reps come on offense. And then when they show you go on offense, then you get more snaps on offense and things like that. So it's just my job to carry that momentum from last year and then carry it into this year.
And just in terms of the entire team, what's the mindset you guys have to carry into training camp when you come back?
I just think the mindset from last year to this year is way different. I just think everybody is holding each other accountable. Cam's done a really good job coming in here and be that leader. He added a little more, a little different type of juice with the trash talking. I'm with it. I love it. So that's a little different, but I love it. So it's just way more competition, and I love that competition, man. That's what you need for a team to thrive with one another. And then we got the teams too. You're getting to know each other. It's different when you're playing against side by side with one another. You know what he's been through. You know where he comes from and things like that. So that adds a different type of aspect and unity towards the team.
How's your team doing?
I think we won today. We was down by 2 points. I think I'm on team Morgan's team. So I think we won today. Should. I don't know.
You know what you get for winning?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a Cali question.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Cali question.
He wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, that's a Cali question, man. I don't know. That's a Cali question. I don't know.
Steve, pretty slick over there.
Yeah, you feel me?
We improved a lot from the first day we came out here till today. You can tell guys are locked in. Guys are playing with better technique, and guys are competing.
A lot of guys have talked about the competition program of the offseason. What did you make of it, and how much more competitive has it been?
I think it was a great for us to hold each other accountable. Everyone has guys in different positions on different teams. I have a guy on my team that's on offensive line. So if he messes up, I'm coming up to him like, hey man, let's lock into next practice. So it's really about just holding the guys accountable, and you want to live up to have that respect from your teammates.
How's your team doing?
We were hot for the first 4 weeks. This last couple of weeks we trended like third place. So we'll see how we ended up today.
In terms of that mission, though, part of it was to negate the sins, or at least eliminate as many as you can.
Yes.
Do you see a tangible impact out there? Are you guys making fewer mistakes, you think?
Yes, definitely. A lot of mental mistakes that we were having early on in OTAs and training camp, you can see it cleaned up. A lot of the penalties or sins are post-snap, which comes down to techniques, and where you get a holding call or a PI or something like that, and those are coachable. But the penalties that are pre-snap of misalignments, jumping off sides, those are things that we can control right away.
When Cam and the offense have had success in what we've seen, a lot of it's been in the middle of the field. Are you conscious of that? How much of that is him being good at that? How much of that is what you're installing?
I guess he's just finding the open guys that are open. Cam's a good quarterback. He's been making all the throws that you can make on the field, and he's just doing a good job of getting to the guy that's open. Even if they look like they're not open, he's delivering it before they come out the break.
Is this one of the most competitive off seasons you've kind of been a part of, given the whole structure and how you guys laid out with the point system and all of that?
Yeah, I would say, it's hard for me to remember the past years, but as far as last year and the year before that, this camp has definitely been competitive. just as far as guys, just the accountability of it. Guys holding each other accountable makes you work harder, makes you want to not let your teammate down.
I think it was a few people, but made the switch for a good reason.
That energy you play with, where do you draw that from?
I think it's just who I am as a person. I think really just being positive. I'm going to take big faith in my pick, confidence in my faith, Christian. I just try to be positive to everybody and just expand good energy. It's contagious.
So your faith, you would say that's your why?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
What has the transition been like so far, Femi? I know you played it last year on the edge also, but is it a different experience now in the NFL?
A little bit. I think I'm just really seeing how important technique is. You kind of look like Dan Quinn. Anybody tell you that before?
No.
Nah, you look like Dan Quinn. I like that. But it's been a good transition, man. I got great vets, Arden Key, Draymond Jones, Lorenzo Carter, and Jalen Harrell. Everybody's helping me out. It's been a great team effort, so it's been great.
And what do you feel like kind of your naturals? Because I would assume power, is that one of your greatest strengths?
Yeah, for sure. And obviously right now we're in just Jersey, so you can't really work that too much outside of individuals. But I believe that will be my setup to everything.